Hi everyone, Amy here, and today I'm going to share a comparison technique by lifting some color through a stencil. Now I'm going to use some Paradise Found colors from the Spa collection at Catherine Pooler. I have some 120 pound cardstock that is accent opaque, and I'm going to do a couple different examples because I want to compare a couple different ways to do this technique. So here is a photo of the direction that we're going. I'm going to show you the two panels here, but stick around and I'll show you the finished cards. The main thing is I want to show you and ultimately try out this technique, first of all, to see if what I'm thinking works. So what I'm doing here is just ink swiping some very saturated ink down onto the cardstock, and I'm going to lift the ink with a liquid. So I recently watched a video from Mindy Egan. You may have seen it. She used a baby wipe through a stencil, through her die cutting machine to lift the ink that she had swiped down on the cardstock. So I'm going to do basically what she demoed in this. However, I wanted to see if it worked with paper towel because, not everybody has baby wipes lying around. I know I don't really have much. I did end up finding some for the sake of comparison, but I don't have a little one anymore, so I don't really have, baby wipes aplenty lying around. And I'm using this gorgeous new Cosmos stencil. This is a 6x9. This is one of the amazing May release stencils at A Colorful Life Designs. But this first one, I'm going to do these cool colors. I'm lining it up on my base, getting it ready to run it through my die cutting machine. So I have the base plate, I have the panel with the ink blending, I have the stencil, and then this is just a wet paper towel. So I squeezed it out as much as I could. There was no dripping water or anything, but I ran it through off screen, and it made a really pretty paper towel, as you can see, but it worked. So I thought, okay, so maybe this does work if you don't have baby wipes around. So I'm using a dry paper towel just to really kind of press down in this and suck up any extra water that may still be in there. So I don't know if you saw when I lifted it up, but there's almost like a texture to it, some little white dots, and I don't know if that's because it's the texture of the paper towel, but it was kind of a cool, unexpected feature. And because of the pressure of the die cutting, it did also emboss it just a little tiny bit. So I'm just going to hit it with my heat tool just to kind of really help the water reactive ink react even further. And then I'm going to set this aside and try it again with some other colors, another stencil, and then also a baby wipe. So again, I wanted to try the same concept that Mindy Egan did, but I just wanted to compare side by side with a wet paper towel versus a baby wipe. So here I'm going to grab a few from that same collection, just with warmer colors, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to ink swipe right down this piece of cardstock, and this is just a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 120 pound cardstock. Now the color is a little bit off. It's not quite that brown looking in real life, but my lighting in my craft room is not the greatest, so I apologize for that. So again, I'm just going to make a spread here. It's not the most even blend. You could probably do this with ink blending if you wanted a neater blend, but I really wanted to lay down a lot of ink like Mindy did to see, to compare this technique. Now this is the new pointed stencil, again a 6x9, and it's so cool. I'm really excited about this one. And I have a baby wipe here. So I'm just going to lay this down now right on top of where I ink blended and do the exact same thing. Same sandwich, run it through my die cutting machine. So you get some of the pressure, you get the liquid from the wipe, and again, very similar look. I would say the only difference is it doesn't have that kind of dotted modeling that I got when I did just the paper towel. So again, I'm going to use this dry paper towel just to really kind of sop up any extra moisture and really kind of encourage the water reactivity where I kind of, applied the moisture. So again, this taught me that both options work. So if you want to try this technique and you don't have baby wipes lying around, you can absolutely get a paper towel and just make sure you squeeze it out really good so that it's about the same wetness as a baby wipe, and then you can get basically the same technique to work. So here I'm just going to use these beautiful stitched dies that I have from LDRS. This is a small woman-owned business in Michigan, and I'm just going to run these through my die cutting machine just to kind of cut these panels down and give them that nice finished edge. So the good news is, yes, both options work, but do stick around here. I'm just going to finish these panels and turn them into cards. You can see I didn't want to waste those extra little bits where I had laid down the ink, and I was able to cut down a little strip and put those on the inside of the card bases. Now these card bases are 120-pound cardstock that is accent opaque, and here I'm just shopping my sentiment book, and here I'm using kind of this is an inexpensive glitter cardstock. That's why I have it in that little pouch, because it was dropping glitter all over the place. So you may have seen that on the panels. I kind of dropped some glitter where I didn't want it, but that's from this cardstock I didn't end up using. So here I'm just kind of flipping through, seeing how I want to finish these cards. This is my storage solution to kind of have a lot of components ready to go. When I get new dies, I'll kind of add them to my sentiment book here, but these are pockets that are meant for baseball cards. So they're baseball card pocket protector sheets. You can get them from Amazon, and I use them to store my various die cuts so that when I'm creating a card, I don't have to stop and, die cut something out if I don't want to. I've probably got, something ready to go in this book. So here I'm using, these are from Concord and Ninth. They're really beautiful. They have that shadow layer as well as the word die cut, but I'm just flipping through just to make sure that that's what I want to use, and I'm showing you some of the other things that I kind of have on hand ready to go. I have this one book for my die cuts, and then I have one also for my critters. So stamped colored critters that are ready to go. I also have those. Here I was debating on this Celebrate die. This is from Catherine Pooler. I love this one. It's all just one piece. Stays together, really easy to die cut. But ultimately I decided to go with these. And I have these little black foam squares. I think I got them from Scrapbook. If I remember, I will link them below. All the products that I used, I'll link in the video description box below. If you expand and scroll down, you'll find those details, as well as a link to the full release set of Colorful Life designs. So you can use my coupon AmyFan10 and save on your complete order if you shop. Here's photos of the finished cards, and I'm so pleased with how they turned out. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I am so pleased that Mindy Egan shared that technique on her video. It's so fun. I will link her video as well, so you can check that out if you want to see how she did it with her inks and a baby wipe. But super fun technique, fun way to kind of lay down some rich color and pull some of it up through a design. So thanks so much for spending time with me, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.